back again. So this episode's going to be a little bit of a catch-up. The race season's been over now for about 2 months. Yeah, last season was this last season was a little bit weird for me. I'm sure it was weird for a lot of people with COVID and all the restrictions. I didn't do as many track days as I had hoped, partly for just the lack of them, plus finances and everything else, not wanting to extend myself, knowing what's been going on in the world. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna get ready for 2021 season. This is just gonna be a quick update for everybody. I've been working on the car on and off a little bit in the evenings. Couple of things in the works. First of all, I'll show you what I got going on the car itself. So up here I've got the fender off on this side. Obviously you can see the big 17 by 10 255 on there. So I got a decent amount of tread left on the wheels, or tires actually. They work pretty well. I'm happy with that. Anyways, one thing I'm fixing is a classic on EKs is this seam here. The seam sealer splits and cracks, and I had water leaking in here. So I went through and stripped everything back, all the paint back, and then I ended up using some rust converter on it because there's a little bit of surface rust. Just need to finish that up. I also, if you can see in here, I cleaned and prepped all the areas where my roll cage was welded into the car finally. I hadn't done that, and it was needed. I've done some wet events and stuff, so it's getting some surface rust in there. Inside the car itself, I've done this block off plate there, over there, and then I'm also doing one in the center here. The center one's gonna have a little bit better layout than what the factory one was, with the vents that weren't used anymore. Obviously I'm gonna have my oil pressure and oil temperature gauge there, plus my lap timer is going to be mounted there, and a few switches as well. So that'll clean that up. Also hoping to save a little bit of weight. There's my elusive electric hydraulic power steering pump I keep teasing everybody with, that I'm going to do on the car eventually. I picked up this wing about a month ago now. It's off one of these. And yeah, I need to make mounts for us. Just setting here now. I'm gonna make mounts that probably bring it back over the back bumper of the car here a ways. Not a super aggressive wing, but that's not what I needed. I just need something to help balance the car out a little bit. Right now it's fairly tail happy, so I want to get the rear end planted a little bit more on high speed corners. The next big thing is going to be the engine. So the motor that's in my car now, I pulled out of an RSX Type S that had 400,000 kilometers on it. So I think it's about 260,000 miles. And I put new timing chain on it, new tensioner on it, and we sent it. And it's been fine for 3 seasons now, but it is starting to get tired. I've got quite a bit of blow by on it. Not so much oil, but just when you're sitting, put your hand in front of the breather, you got quite a bit of pressure coming out of there. So figure it's time to do it. I do have a number of K-series engines sitting around. I've got 3 K24A2 bottom ends, 1 complete long block, and then I've got another K20A2 that I've got torn apart here as a donor. So let me show you what I've got going on here. So here we have a K20A2. This was an entire motor with harness and everything that I've torn down. This one's in really good shape actually. It sat in a shop for about 10 years. No idea how much mileage it's got on it, but it looked pretty good. There's not a lot of oil sludge on anything. Usually that cover, if it's a car that hasn't been well maintained, is just covered in black sludgy nastiness. The valve cover is pretty clean, so is in the head. So anyways, I pulled the head off for just that, for the head. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this head rebuilt. Deck surface looks really, really good. There's no marking on it, no indication of any kind of issues with it. But I'm gonna take it to a head shop anyways and get a valve job done on it and get the carbon. There's quite a bit of carbon buildup on here. I don't think this motor is run very hard to keep it clean. So I needed a couple more Italian tune-ups. K28 cams are getting taken out and we're putting 06 plus TSX cams in. They're kind of the best OEM cam that came on the K series. So we're going to put those in. I've got all my bits here. I took the K20A2 oil pump and all of its accompanying pieces out and put it in a tote. This is going to go into the K24A2 bottom end. And yeah, I will reuse the pump. The pump in my motor on the car now has got 400,000 Canada. I have no oil pressure problems and I don't foresee having any with this. So I'll reuse that, just clean it up a bit. And let's go over here into my storage slash pile of stuff. So yeah, I got Halloween stuff in here, but there's a K24 long block and there's a K24 short block down there. So we're gonna dig that out. I've also got another one in a box, in a tote over there as well. So the one that's just the short block, it came out of a car with 260,000 K, I believe, and it was a runner. It didn't smoke when I was taken apart. A friend of mine bought the car as a wreck and parted it out, and I bought the bottom end off of them. So I trust them. We're gonna get this head redone and toss it on that bottom end. I may pop a main off of one of the rods just to see what they look like. And then we'll start reassembling. So yeah, quick update for everybody. I don't want to make this too long. Couple decent projects on the go for this thing for this off season. So don't know if updates will be super frequent. I always try to make them frequent, but it never works out that way with life and everything else. But I'll try to cover the engine and the rear wing and stuff as I go here. So right now with the engine, I'm just trying to get it torn down so I can get an idea of what I need, and then I can slowly start acquiring parts. Budget wise, I'm not going to buy all the parts in one go for this. I'm going to spread them out over probably a couple months. First things first is get the head done. I do have a set of 880cc injectors that I just had cleaned and balanced, so I have to pick those up. So those will go into this for the eventuality of being able to run E85 in this. The car is not at that stage yet though, compression wise or other. So yeah, so that's the update for now. Hope everybody is doing well. If I don't do another video before the holidays, happy holidays everyone, and I wish the best for you and your families. All right, have a good one. Bye everybody.